Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, you know when you buy that new car and you're driving it around, you're really careful with that new car because at some point, you're gonna get a ding on that car. Somebody's gonna open their door and they're gonna hit your door. Or, you're gonna bump into something while parking that's a little lower than you thought. Well, a brand new cruise ship finally had its first ding, and it was a big one. So I also have a story on the icon of the seas because there's going to be a moral of the story. It's going to be basically letting you know why you want to book your cruise as early as possible. Okay, because there's a lot of people say, no, wait to the last minute because then they go on sale and you get really good deal. It's sometimes, but here's the thing. Let me get to that story. But first, the Scarlet Lady. Brand new cruise ship for Virgin Cruise Lines. It was delayed during the pandemic. Remember, it was getting ready to launch in March of 2020. The month everybody shut down. So what the worst possible timing ever. Well, she was pulling into Miami, a brand new ship, and it got a big ding backing into the side while it was making its turn. Bit of significant damage on there. It's a pretty big indent. Luckily, it didn't look like there was an actual hole, like on the Ruby Princess. There was actually a hole through the hull. This one looks more just like an indent, but they immediately went out. Passengers were still allowed to get off in port, and they were out there inspecting it. The repair crews went out, and engineers were out, and they did manage to set sail again for their next sailing. No passengers were injured, no workers were injured, but it did get delayed a few hours before leaving the port of Miami on their next cruise. The good news is it does not look like they will miss anything on their upcoming itinerary because they're short travel destinations and the ship can just go a little faster to get there, which is good news for the passengers arriving and going on next. But it's that new car sensation when you get your first ding in your new car. Well, now the first ding in the brand new cruise ship, the Scarlet Lady, with a first of the Virgin 3, it must not feel good. And if you're the captain, it certainly doesn't feel good if you're the captain that did it. I can guarantee that. Next, I want to talk to you about booking your cruise early instead of waiting to the last minute. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with all the cruise news going on out there, from the new ship arrivals to the accidents that are happening, to airlines affecting your possible cruise, to strikes, to everything you can think of. We'll try and keep it lighthearted. I'll try and entertain as much as I can, and we'll get into some pretty big discussions sometimes, but it's all in fun. I hope you'll join me. It doesn't cost anything, and it really helps the channel out. I really would appreciate it. Okay. The Icon of the Seas. If you remember when the Icon of the Seas first went on sale, the inaugural sailing sold out within 24 hours. This ship holds close to 8,000 people on it, and it sold out in 24 hours. That's huge, right? That's how popular and how many people wanted to get on and see the new ship. Now, as a warning, I've been on the brand new ships on their inaugural sailing, and I find the more they have on the ship to get ready, sometimes the less prepared they are. For instance, when I went on the Wonder of the Seas for her inaugural sailing, the Aqua Show wasn't completed yet, one of the shows in the theater wasn't ready yet, one of the dining halls wasn't ready yet, etc. Even the escape room wasn't open yet. So there was a lot of things that just weren't ready yet. Then I went on the Wonder 2 months later, everything was up and running, and it was great. Perfect, great entertainment, loved the shows, had a good time. So when I was looking at the icon, I said to myself, well, that's a lot of things on that ship and a lot of things to get ready, and maybe it might not be ready for the inaugural sailing 100%. So what I did is I booked it a few weeks later. So I booked it at the end of February. Now, if you go on and start looking for the Icon of the Seas for availability, there's hardly any availability left at all. If you want something, it's usually maybe 1 or 2 suites that are remaining on the ship. Balconies have been sold out, mini suites have been sold out, ocean views have been sold out, and they're all on wait list or just not closed out, not available. But one thing I did find on my cruise, when you take a look at the price, here's the price that I paid. Well, I haven't paid for it yet, it's due in November, but when I pay for it, my total cost is just over $5,000 Canadian. Okay, well, when I search online right now, you can see that the only things available on the sailing that I was looking at were ocean view and an interior. And both of them are over $9,000 for a smaller, lesser cabin than what I was in, that I'm currently in. That's because the ship is popular and it's sold. So obviously the more cabins that get sold, the higher the price starts to go up. If a ship is almost empty and nobody's buying the ship and no one's sailing on it, that's when the prices will drop. And you can find some last minute deals when they're trying to get rid of those cabins. But on a popular ship, like the Icon of the Seas, when it was announced, I booked it that first day. And if I go to a balcony right now that is waitlisted for one person, it would cost me over $17,000 Canadian. $5,000 currently paying, or $17,000 if I would have waited. And even then, I'm on a wait list, I might not get on the ship. I'd be in complete limbo, wondering, am I going to get on the ship or not? If that was the only time I could sail. So that's one of the benefits of booking early, especially if you book with a refundable deposit. You book a refundable deposit, if the price goes up, you're great. If the price goes down, you get it refared. Or you cancel if they refuse to refare you, you cancel your refundable deposit one and you rebook it at the cheaper price. You'll get your money back from the original booking. There's no downside to booking your cruise as far out as possible. Like we just announced our Alaska 2026 season. If that comes out, book Alaska right away if you know you're going. Because chances are you're either going to get the best price because it's going to skyrocket in the future, or the price is going to drop and you just refare and you're going to get the best price anyway. So the downside of booking early is basically non-existent as long as you have a refundable deposit. But the downside of waiting and hoping to get a better deal instead, well, as you can see, I would have been paying 3 times as much money to get the exact same cabin I'm in now. And that's no insignificant amount. We're talking over $10,000 difference. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't wait. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.